Back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And if you've been like watching my videos, liking my videos, sharing my videos, subscribing to my channel, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much. I really appreciate all of that. I just learned on a stream that I was just watching that I am clearly going to have to do some more Ravencoin content because someone thinks that Ravencoin is a security. So I'm going to have to clear that up. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Mind blown here. You know who you are. Yeah, totally flustered on that one, but okay. I'll have to deal with that later. I can't get my thoughts straight because I was actually typing a response and then I needed to go live and stuff. But anyway, so the guys from Mango Farm Assets, part of the Ravencoin community, and IPAssets work together to create, and I've talked about this a lot on the channel, IPFS. So they worked to create a IPFS interplanetary file system. It's a gateway and like a client or an interface to IPFS for Ravencoin, which is kind of cool. But you got to remember that IPFS is peer-to-peer. It's not owned by somebody, but you can create these clients and interfaces to actually get data, get files out there on IPFS. IPFS is its own network, so to speak. It's peer-to-peer file sharing is essentially what it is. But they created this really cool, pretty slick interface and a gateway to access, other IPFS content, or if you have the file hash, you can just plug it in there and actually look at it. Now, I have very little experience with what I'm talking about as far as this particular interface because it's pretty brand new. And I don't know, within the last couple of days, I think, is whenever it was released. But I wanted to show you something real quick because I don't even have a link open. Hold on a second. Let me get my thoughts straight. All right, so a while back, I actually tweeted. This was like last year, February. This was about another project that was originally kind of off. It was similar to a Ravencoin. You might be able to figure it out by the people that I'm replying to here. I'm not going to show it to you because I don't want to confuse you on what I was talking about here. But my statement here, I knew that, and I had said it in previous videos, like before this time frame, before February 16th. But I knew that IPFS and blockchain was a match made in heaven, but and this is talking about this specific project up here. But IPFS and blockchain technology definitely go hand in hand, match made in heaven kind of thing, because you've got the decentralized currency or the project, for transferring value. And if you can reference IPFS assets or IPFS files, data from that asset or from that token, however you want to look at it, then that is like perfect because, as we'll see, and I've done a lot of content on this already with the whole Pocket Change XD business that we're starting, on not in real life, just on the Ravencoin testnet. We're trying to tokenize a whole business and show how that could potentially work on the real Ravencoin mainnet. I think that there's a lot of applications, there's a lot of use cases that you can actually use Ravencoin for. It's already being used. I think that clearly, like I said at the top, I need to do more research or more content on it because it's not getting out there. They do have a problem in marketing. There's no doubt about it. There's very vocal people. I'm getting off on a tangent about Ravencoin, but there's very vocal people on Twitter and in some social media channels, right, on Discord and stuff like that. But as far as actual like marketing and really trying to reach out, I think that they're falling short there. They're falling short on obtaining new fresh talent, developers, hey, what's up, Chump Change? Thanks so much. New developers, thanks so much for the super chat. I don't know if you said anything over here. Let's see. No, just hype. Okay, yeah. Let's get hype about Ravencoin, right? So they have failed in some areas, and Crypto Mikkel brought up a good point, and I never really thought about it like that. It seems like a no-brainer to add it to Coinbase, but they do. It would be the same thing as adding Bitcoin, because it is a community project. There is the Ravencoin Foundation now, so that's good. But there's not like a designated team, right? There's some developers that everybody knows, Tron Black and those guys, Jeros and those. But for the most part, there's not someone that Coinbase could actually communicate with to actually add it. So it would almost be like Binance did it. Ravencoin's on a lot of exchanges. There's no problem with like liquidity and stuff. And that's probably why, you were talking about how miners dump it. There's probably large mining farms. I know I'm getting totally off on a tangent, but you kind of got me spun up there. Anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. I want to kind of, let's focus on the whole IPFS thing. So I did mention this back in 2020, how I thought that was a really good match made in heaven and that kind of stuff. So Mango Farms is this website, Mango Farm Assets. We've used this in several of our Ravencoin scenarios, some of our videos on assets and deploying things. We used it with this situation. This is testnet. And they've got a wallet, asset builder, and then a viewer in here. So, and they've got it on testnet, so you can actually switch over to testnet as well, which is what we were using it for. They got the asset builder, which is really nice, creating different types of assets. And then the asset viewer also, so you can search for, assets that are on the Ravencoin network, something like that. And pocket change. You're too generous. That's awesome. Wacky Wednesday with Savage. Congrats on 5K. Yeah, a little early. 4.99K. Yeah, I saw that a minute ago. I'm sure it'll go up here in a minute. Maybe. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, this is thanks so much, Pocket Change. That's very generous. So this guy here, I don't know his name. He's definitely very active in the Ravencoin community, Twitter, social media. I think he's on Discord and all that stuff, but he's done a lot of development on top of Ravencoin. Maybe not for Ravencoin, but at least stuff like this, like interfaces and web-based stuff. So I'm sure that he's communicating. I'm sure that he's pretty tight with Tron Black and those guys. So anyway, they worked with IPAssets together to create a Ravencoin IPFS. Now, this is pretty slick. I like the interface. I like this large type of stuff where it's easy to read and you can hit it up on mobile and it looks really good on mobile as well. I like that. That is, it's modern, right? It's kind of a modern interface because there's no junk on here, Now, some people might be asking, okay, so what is IPFS? Because this is something that is somewhat confusing to some folks that maybe haven't been in the space for a while. But IPFS is basically, this is how it works. So you have a file and you can copy it to IPFS to store it on IPFS. And whenever you do that, it's actually given a fingerprint, a cryptographic hash that identifies it on the network. And you can store it on your node, your IPFS node, or if it's a popular file, then it, based on the popularity and how things work and how nodes are set up across the network, then it could actually get replicated across the network. So if it's super popular, it might end up on plenty of nodes and it's easily accessed and all that stuff. Now, if you're talking about like a document for a specific asset, for example, we've got the Ravencoin white paper as an NFT right here. So if we click on that, now the Ravencoin white paper is probably pretty popular, but I would imagine that if I wasn't hosting this, then I might not be able to find the Ravencoin white paper out there. Now, I don't have my node, my IPFS up and running right now, so this is on some node out there on IPFS. You know, it's some IPFS node that is storing this, because I don't even have mine running. So, and if you're wondering what I'm talking about, there's IPFS. I'll fire that up as well. Super easy. If you go to, I think it's IPFS.io, you can get a client and actually run it. Now, whenever you add files to that, you are at the mercy of those files either being copied throughout the network, or you have to run your own node yourself. Okay, so here's my node running IPFS, and here's the files that I'm hosting. Actually, it'll take a minute. It takes a minute once it fires up the first time, and I haven't started it in a while, so it takes a little while to actually start, to actually get going. Eventually, yeah, there we go. So now these are the files that I'm hosting. You can see I've got them pinned, so that means that they'll stay there. And I think that this does have some application across the network. So if someone else sees that a file is pinned, then it might actually, depending on the settings of the node, it might actually store it on that node as well. Again, you know, it just depends on how the nodes are set up and what how they're configured. But if you need the file to be hosted, you can always host your own IPFS node. Okay. All right, so that is, in a nutshell, what we have done so far. But what they did, which is really cool, I like this. Oh, let's go back to this. We're talking about how IPFS works. So that's the files are given the cryptographic hash. So if you like right-click on one, you can say this is content ID. So you would copy that, and I think you can actually see it. Let's see. Maybe inspect. Actually, right here is the, it starts with QM. That's the cryptographic hash for IPFS. You can see that right there. So whenever you copy it, copy the CID. Let me just open up a notepad here, and I'm just going to paste it to show you what it looks like. So it looks like that, and you can see like whichever one, I don't know which one I copied. Looks like this one here. Oh, Rondi, thanks so much, man. Did you say anything over there? Thanks for showing some love, man. Super nice, super generous. I really appreciate it. Very nice. You guys get me all choked up whenever y'all start doing donations and stuff. Super chats. It took me forever to actually enable it, because I'm kind of a, I don't know, I have my own feeling about it, but the community, my community, the savages out there wanted me to enable it, so I ended up doing it eventually. I think I already had like 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers before I enabled it. Anyway, all right. So you can see that that is the file hash for that specific file, right? So that is, whenever they're talking about the cryptographic hash right here, that's what they're talking about. IPFS removes duplications across the network. In other words, you can't have two, you can have two documents that are the same, but they won't have the same cryptographic hash. So you could have two NFTs, for example, that have the same data in them, but it won't. Actually, let's see. Hang on a second. That is not true, because if you were to, because the file is going to produce the same cryptographic hash if the file hasn't changed, right? So that's interesting. I'll have to look into that to see how that actually works. That's actually cool. Light bulb going off in my head right now. Anyway, so each network node stores only content it is interested in, plus some indexing, right? So that's what I was talking about, the indexing features. Like if you do, oh, Serpent X, thanks so much, man. If you do, yeah, I'm hitting on the Ravencoin content. Oh, Red Fox, thanks so much, man. Early 5K, yep. So, let's see. So yeah, I was talking about the indexing earlier. Helps figure out where the files are stored, and you can reference it that way. All right, when you look up a file to view or download, you're asking the network to find the nodes that are storing the content and behind that file's hash. So for example, this this right here, this Beeple 5K, remember that NFT is out there on IPFS, and it's just a JPEG of Beeple, his 5,000 days JPEG that sold for $69 million or whatever. But if I click on this, so this is referencing it out on IPFS, and it's going to actually, this is the actual NFT. This is the one that sold for $69 million. I'm referencing the same exact file. All right, so that's kind of cool, right? But you can see how that can create some potential for fraud and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, that's a whole NFT issue, which we are not going to be talking about that too much tonight. I'm going to let that build though. All right, so that's what you're doing whenever you look up a file. You don't need to remember the hash. Every file can be found by human readable names using IPNS, and I believe that that's what Ravencoin IPFS is actually using. And I'll get to that in a minute. I don't know, again, I only saw this was 22 hours ago that they released this. I don't know if maybe it was probably in some type of beta before that, and you know, people who were in the know probably had access to it to test it and all that. But this was only 22 hours ago that Mango Farm released this Medium article talking about what they had done. So this is really cool. Let's scroll down here a little bit and hit on the highlighted areas. IPFS pinning and storage have always been stood at the core of Mango Farm's functionality. True, because they use it on their Mango Farm Assets website as well. The file referenced by an IPFS hash can consist of anything from, you know, images, movies, contracts. We've done it with you know, JPEGs. We've done it with PDF documents, all kinds of cool stuff. Now, what Ravencoin IPFS has done also, in addition to that, is they've made it to where you can just store files, and that's what we're going to kind of play around with tonight. If I can get through this a little bit quicker. If y'all stop doing super chats over there, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's see here. So, what can you do with Ravencoin IPFS? You can store the files with real names. Again, I haven't stored a single file on here, so I don't know what it looks like, but I can get an idea from just looking at this picture here. Drag and drop functionality, that's cool. Pretty much IPFS client over here has that. You can just drag files into here. I don't know if you have to click import. I think you can just click and drag them. But anyway, so that's a cool functionality as well. View, download link, documents with one click. Okay, great. That's pretty basic. Straightforward encryption. Now this is really cool, is encryption for the IPFS files. I want to play with that because what you could actually use this for is to store you know, data encrypted on IPFS. For example, you could store, you know, passwords. You could store you know, I wouldn't suggest storing anything too important out there, but you know, like maybe website passwords or something like that. You could create a encrypted, now it is encrypted, so you could store whatever you wanted, but an encrypted file out there with that on there. So I think that's really cool. We're going to play with that. And just remember that they don't ever have access to your encryption keys. You can do this from the wallet, the mobile wallet as well. And browse files with Ravencoin, and then we'll look at the gateway as well. They got multi-language support, desktop or mobile. Then that's it. Okay. And then they do have a little bit of a cost, but we'll talk about that in a minute as well, because they have to you know, make a little bit of money to actually pay for the servers and all that stuff that this runs on. So in order to get signed up, you would go to ravencoinipfs.com. You guys are awesome in the super chats over there. Thanks so much. Thanks, Red Fox Crypto. All right. So you go to ravencoinipfs.com, click the sign up button over here. It's going to do the email address, password, confirm password. I don't know if you can change it afterwards. I would assume you could change the password at any time you want. Then, now I've already signed up, so I'm just going to click on login over here. Got my stuff stored here, so I'm going to log in. So this is what it looks like whenever you log in. Now let me log out, and we do these are the tiers down here. So you've got different tiers. I mean, right now this is super affordable, guys. I mean, good grief. You get 1 month free, so you can play with it and see if you like it, and see if you you know, can use it, if it's good to utilize it. I mean, 10 gig for 25 Raven, 30-day renewal. So 25 Raven right now, was that $4? Am I doing this right? Somewhere around in there. If you want to equate it to USD. $5.73. So still pretty cheap. I mean, for less than $6 at the moment. Now, here's the thing though. Okay, so, and this is one of, okay, if you want to have, if I have one complaint about Ravencoin, it's this, okay? Whenever you equate all of the things on your network with Raven and to pay for it with Raven. Now, I know other networks do this, Ethereum does it, I get it. But this is like straight up like, hey, we're going to go 25 Raven. And I know that he can change it, and they will if things get out of control. But think about this. So if it's 25 Raven, what if Raven goes to $1? Now this 10 gig is $25 USD, right? A month. And you might, if they don't change it fast enough, you might lose people, right? Because that can get expensive. But anyway, what they could do too, what they should do, I don't know if it's even enabled, some type of it'd be cool if you could schedule the payments, right? So you don't have to remember to pay. They will ping you on your email address that you register with. They have to have a valid email address because that's how they remind you of payments, right? It would be really cool if there was some way of setting up, like, I know that there's third-party services for doing it, but I mean inside of this app or this interface or the Qt wallet, some way that you could actually set it up to actually, you know, those monthly payments. I know like Bitcash has stuff like that, different project, but yeah, that would be super cool. Anyway, all right, let's see here. I just did the free one, you know, just for 100 meg, no big deal. That's what I'm using for now, just to see what's up. So you do have to, you know, give them a valid email, because you have to click the link and all that stuff in the email to actually get in there. All right, to confirm. So this looks pretty cool. It looks like you can just click and drag files. So what we'll do first, again, I have not done this, so this is all new. I'm going to click and drag this file right here, which is the thumbnail for this video. Okay, I'm gonna click and drag that file over here and see what happens. All right, so it asks, do you want to encrypt this file? This one I'm gonna say no. We're gonna do another one and just see if, all right, so what do we got? We got a QR code for it, probably so that you can pull it into another wallet, I guess, or reference it in another wallet. This is the IPFS address for it, or the hash, right? The digest. What is this right here? Is this like searching, download? So this is like, oh, this is to look at it, I guess, maybe. Yeah, all right. So that's to view it. So there it is right there. It's on IPFS. You can see that up there. So it's already out there. That's cool. That was really fast, because normally like this IPFS content, or this client over here, sometimes it's a little quirky, you know, like I can drop something in here, but it won't be referenced right away. It takes some time. That was really fast. So that's cool. Then you got download, I would assume this. Yeah, that's download. And then this is copy to clipboard. Don't know why there's a picture of link there. I would probably put a clipboard there if I were them. And then delete. Okay, so cool. So you can actually delete it. It asks you, are you sure? Okay, cool. All right, and that's to like add. Okay, so this is to add more IPFS files. It's got the status down here, how much you're using. Drag and drop. You can create folders. I think that is super cool. So we could do like a folder for our business, right? Pocket Change XD. Okay, so from there we could probably pull in some files that we've used in that particular scenario. So let me see if I can do that real quick. So let's say that we were going to pull in, where are they at? We were going to pull in our articles of incorporation, which I don't see them. Did they go? All right, give me a second here. That's not it. That is not it. Huh. I must have moved it somewhere. I thought it was in here. Just a second. I've got the STO, the security token offering establishment, so I'll just use that one. All right. So are we in the Pocket Change XD folder? It looks like it. So I'm going to click and drag that over there. Now, this is really, really, really cool. So now, this particular document that I'm dragging over here, I do want it to be encrypted. All right. So I am going to click on yes to encryption. Then we need to give it a encryption passphrase. So we need to give it some type of a password to decrypt it in the future. So we'll do something simple. We'll just call it Pocket Change. Okay. Pocket Change, that's it. And this talks about that down here, I would imagine. First time you encrypt a document, you will be asked to enter an encryption passphrase, use a secure phrase. We aren't, that's just super simple. But if it was a document that you really wanted to protect, this is not something that we're too worried about. If you really wanted to protect it, then definitely do a complex password, 14 characters or more, one upper, one lower, one number, one special, all that cool stuff. You know the deal. You will be asked to, at least one of each. You will be asked to enter this phrase. We made it super simple. If you need to change this phrase, all encrypted documents will be inaccessible and will need to be deleted. So it sounds like you would have to, if you wanted to change the encryption password on it, that you would have to actually delete the document and then re-add it to have a new password, right? And that's pretty basic encryption stuff, okay? So we're gonna, everybody remember what the phrase was, right? It was just Pocket Change. So it says re-enter, so make sure you know what it is, right? Pocket Change, sounds good. Move the mouse to generate randomness. Now this is not storing anything on their servers, right? So they're not gonna have access to this. Encrypted file upload, very cool. And then there it is. And then it's got like a little lock on it. All right, awesome, that's cool. So then we're gonna click on it because I wanna view it. Not yet, so I guess I have to click over here. All right, so I am clicking on it and it's not doing anything. So I don't know if it's supposed to, but maybe because, let me go back over here. Okay, so that opened up over here. And then I would be able to, okay, It does open up over here as far as that goes. All right, so it looks like you have to click on the view. Now it wants the passphrase. What was it? Pocket Change, right? Submit. Decryption complete. And see, all this stuff takes processing power, so this is why it can't be free. All right, so they have to actually, pay for servers, pay for this processing power and stuff, right? View file. All right, very cool. So we drug this over there, we encrypted it. So this is our encrypted PDF that establishes our security token offering, the little scenario that we're doing over here in the Ravencoin testnet. Looks like there's no nodes online because this has been saying 2 hours behind forever. Testnet might be down or not enough nodes on there or something. All right, so that is cool. So that worked. Let's see, what else can we do? We can delete it. Okay, so now we deleted, actually we deleted the whole folder, right? So I must have clicked on the folder over here, because or because the folder was empty, maybe? I don't know. Let me see if I can recreate that same folder. Okay, it did let me recreate the same folder, so that's good. Let's see, what else can we do here? I'm just looking for a file here real quick. Oh, there's my, yeah, okay, I think this is the actual incorporation document. I must have moved it. So I'm just putting the incorporation document out there as well. Or not as well, but now I'm putting it out there. Oh, that's the other one. Nah, that's not the one I wanted. Anyway, doesn't matter. All right. So my point is that you could actually do like a file that has, you know, passwords on it. And I've done this in other projects. For example, CCX Conceal, they have a messaging feature in their desktop wallet that you could actually send, you know, encrypted messages, and they're forever encrypted, and access them through the wallet. So this is kind of similar, right? You can encrypt the data that's out there on IPFS, which is really, really, really cool. What else can we do? We can look at the gateway. So let's see here. If I go up here, this little block down here in the bottom right hand corner switches you over to the gateway. In the gateway, you would just enter in an IPFS hash right here and gain access to the file. And what's cool is if it is encrypted, you can check that here and enter in the key, right? So for example, let's see if we have, I forgot what I did here. Did I delete that off of there? Yeah, I did. All right. So let's see. First, we'll do one that's non-encrypted. So I'm going to click on this just to get the QM code over here, the content ID. So copy to clipboard. You saw that, right? And then if we go back out over here and go to the IPFS gateway, right-click, paste, it should, yep. So it just went right in there and access. So if you know the IPFS hash or the content ID for any content that's out there on IPFS, then you could go to this IPFS gateway right here and plug in that QM number, the hash, and access that data, right? So that is pretty cool. I don't want to, session will permanent, no. I was just getting rid of that right there. Okay, that was kind of weird. It asked me if I wanted to actually delete the file because I clicked delete once I pasted it in there. Then I went like this, and I think I just hit delete. Yeah, see, it's asking me if I want to delete this file down here. That's kind of weird. Probably just the way it's interfacing with the actual website. Okay, I can get over that. Let's see. What we could do too, let's do a encrypted one just to cycle through all the capabilities here. Let's put a encrypted document back on there, or encrypted document. You know what, I want to see. Okay, so it's saying incorrect entry, probably because it's too short, right? Because I tried just Raven. Oh, actually, hang on. What does it think? Does it think that I'm opening that? I didn't encrypt that one, so I wonder why it's asking me for that. All right, let me grab another file. See if it. Okay, so maybe that's weird. I thought that it was per file. Seems like something's not right. I thought that it would be per file. But it just asked me, it basically wanted the same exact passphrase. It seems like that would be per file. I don't know. Am I tripping here? Did you guys see what I was doing there? So it actually asks okay, I'll try that. I see Colt 7 over there. Okay, now let's see here. Hey, I'm not gonna hang on a second. I'm not gonna just click on a random IPFS link. There's no telling what it would be. Yeah, I'm kind of looking through chat here. There's an IPFS hash there. Let me do this. I'm gonna turn this off because there's no telling what that is. There's no telling. All right, let's do this. All right. Now I'm gonna go back up here to the gateway. Okay, it just opens up as can't really tell what it is. It was just a bunch of numbers. Is how it opened up. Yeah, it won't pull up with your code. All right, yeah, I don't want to get wrapped around the axle with that, but it looks like it's just a string of numbers. I can show you right there. Not sure what it is, if that makes any sense. All right, so what was I doing? I wanted to actually pull something over here. Okay, so I was down here and I tried to put something on there that was, yeah, I don't know if it'll work like that. Oh, so, all right, hang on. Yeah, maybe. Let's go in, let's try to open it. So if it's encrypted, you said it's high. I don't know if it would let you do, I mean, maybe it would let you do a short one like that. It says invalid decryption key. Please try again. Yeah, not sure. It says invalid. Not a big deal. All right, let's try on mine. Let's see if we can do something here. It still seems kind of weird that because let me just drag a totally different file. Let's go to this one. Encrypt. So you see, it's asking for my encryption passphrase. Maybe I'm not understanding, because I thought that you would be creating it for each file individually, because that's not really that great if if you can only have that one passphrase, right? If you can only have the one passphrase, if you wanted someone else to see that file, you would have to give them your passphrase, right? That's not, I don't know if that's the way that this is intended, or if it's just working that way because I'm on Brave browser and I've got some crazy settings or something that's preventing it, but it seems kind of odd, in my opinion, that it's like that. So there's the hash. If we click view. Okay, so that shows encrypted, right? You can see this is very similar to what we were seeing just a minute ago with the Excel spreadsheet. Okay. So now we're going to click encrypted, and it's going to ask for the encryption key. And it says invalid. All right, so something doesn't seem right. Again, it could be my settings. Okay, my Brave browser is sometimes a little goofy with stuff like this, because it would seem like it would have its own. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. Okay, so now that it was encrypted, it's got this key over here. Oh, okay. All right, so that's all right. I'm totally goofing this up. Thanks for becoming a subscriber. Thanks so much. All right, yeah, I totally messed this up. Again, this is my first experience too. All right, you know, give me a break. All right, so the passphrase that you set on the files initially whenever you first pull it over, that very first one is your passphrase, apparently, to encrypt. So mine is super easy to remember, and all of you know it. All right, so maybe that part I'm gonna have to figure out a way to fix that. But once the file is on here, then it looks like if you click on the key, then you enter in your passphrase to decrypt. Okay, then you get this key down here, and this is what you need to actually view the file. All right, so we're gonna click this. We're gonna copy that because this is the hash. This kind of sucks. We have to go back and forth here, but let's see here. Let's see if it stays on the screen down there. Probably not. Well, this is fun. Then we need the key. There we go. Now we're cooking with gasoline. So now we've got encrypted there, view. Now I bet it's going to work. So now it's decrypting, decryption complete, view file. Boom. There we go. Okay, so I was just doing it really wrong. I was thinking it was the passphrase on the gateway, but that's not what it is. You have to have the key. Okay, that makes sense. But I am concerned about the passphrase thing. Because now, I mean, is there a way for me to change it? Because all you guys know what my passcode is to encrypt my files. I'll have to goof around with that. I'm sure that there's a way of fixing it. It did say that all the files would have to be deleted, so maybe let's try that. Let's go in here and delete all these. And then let's see if we can get it to trigger a new phrase creation, right? See if this works. Nope. It just wants the one that I created before. All right, so I will have to figure that out. I'll have to see what's up with that. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter too much because you know, it's an account that you guys don't know the password or the password to log on and stuff, but yeah, still kind of weird. Seems like there would be, yeah, I'll have to research that and figure out if there's a way of changing it. I thought it said that you could delete the files and then it's possible maybe a log out and log back in might do it as well. And by the way, this is the address that you would send your Raven to for, you know, your payment, your monthly payment. Okay, so I got no files in there. Nope, it just wants it. If you have forgotten the encryption passphrase, you can reset. Oh, look at there. If you've forgotten it, you can reset it right there. Boom. All right, let's see here. Okay, everybody saw that, right? Now it is allowing me to change it. Okay, so that's the way it works. So you get a encryption passphrase that you have to put in whenever you want to encrypt something. Okay, so this is kind of making sense now. All right, and then that stays with you for your, not just your session, but until you change it. Now, if you do change it, then I would assume, I like doing stuff like this live. This is crazy. So I'm dropping another file in there. I want to see. Okay, that file already exists. All right. So see, there's no duplication, right? So what it did was I tried to pull the same file, but it knows that it's the same file, and it's like, hey man, you don't need to, you don't need to do that because it's the same file. All right. So let me pull this one over here. What I'm going to try to do is actually delete it or change my encryption phrase or my passcode or whatever you want to call it, whatever they call it here. And then it's going to make me delete the file because I won't be able to open it. I think that's the way to work. All right, so let's see here. Do this. So what I want to try to do is change it. Okay, I'm going to change it back to this. So now what should happen is I should not be able to look at these files anymore. See, it's saying invalid decryption key. Now let me see if I plug in my old one, or the one that I encrypted it with. Incorrect entry. Okay, so it won't do it. So these files that I encrypted using that other passphrase, are not accessible anymore. So I'd have to get rid of both of these. These are for folders over here. Okay. This is for the actual file. So this is related to the file. This is folders. That makes sense. All right, so this was super cool, man. Yeah, great job. This is neat. This is neat. I could play with stuff like this for a while. So here's Beeple's 5K, the actual one. So everybody, you can reference that if you want. $69 million piece of art. Yeah, this was neat. Okay, so we learned a lot. I learned a lot. That's neat. I dig it. I like it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You see if you are tagging me. No one's really tagging me over here, so I guess y'all are just talking to each other. That's cool. Yeah, this is pretty neat stuff. Pretty neat stuff. I might turn into a Ravencoin maximalist. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I'm not about all that cult stuff. All right, let's see. Man, I've been going for almost an hour, so I'm gonna stop it right here. I'm gonna try to throw some timestamps maybe on this so that we can kind of like break it up because it's way too long. Yeah. I hate whenever I do these. I get into it and then the video is way too long. Maybe edit it in some way and edit it and shorten it up a little bit. Yeah, damn the Dane, there is more, you know, than usual. Me and Nemesis is gonna have a talk. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will see y'all. I think he was just trolling. Maybe he was just trolling. That's probably what it was. Yeah, maybe Nemesis was trolling. I could see that. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you thought that this was educational, fun, entertaining, whatever, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yep, Thursday. And no idea what we'll be talking about, but it'll probably be Ravencoin since Nemesis is over here trolling me. And just remember, it can all be built on Bitcoin. Stay savage, everybody.